It is dusk in the Nevada desert, and behind me is Area 51, the actual Area 51, top secret military installation, is behind me. Those mountains in my background that are just barely lit up with the setting sun, those are the perimeter of Area 51. Just over on the other side of that hill is the actual boundary of Area 51, which is where I'll be going tomorrow, to the boundary anyway. And where I'm at now is on public land. It's entirely legal for me to be here, camping, here on my motorcycle. And I've been riding all day to get here, and I'm a little tired, but it was well worth the ride, because after all, here I am at Area 51. I'm going to keep my eyes glued to the night sky, because it's said that there's a lot of activity that goes around here, a lot of strange activity, like lights in the sky, moving objects, things like that. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. Who knows, maybe I'll see something. It is now morning outside of Area 51, and now that it's light, I have a much better view and perspective on what's going on behind me, these hills. When I got here last night, it was too dark to really tell. It all just looked like one ridge line back there, but as you can see, there's actually many hills, many mountains, convoluted, and there's some big ones in the back, some closer ones up front, and I'm not exactly sure where the Area 51 boundary begins. My Google Maps is not working, so I can't get an exact lay on the land, but I think it's safe to say that those hills in the background are definitely within Area 51. Those ones that are closer are probably not, because when I last looked at the map, it looked like maybe a couple of miles from here was where the Area 51 boundary begins. So I had an interesting night last night. I just slept here right on the ground, right here in the desert. I'm about 500 yards off of the highway. This is Highway 375, which has been called the Extraterrestrial Highway. That's the actual official Nevada state name for the highway, the Extraterrestrial Highway. People come here all the time, especially in summer, to camp out and take a look at the night skies. So I had my eyes peeled last night, and I can't say I saw any weird lights or any strange sounds or phenomenon, but I did have some weird dreams. Hadn't had dreams like that in a long time. That was pretty bizarre. Maybe it's the place I'm at that's causing those dreams. I don't know. However, I do know that I am now starting my morning right on the edge of Area 51, and I'm going to go see what I can see. I'm now on the road to the entrance of Area 51. They call this the front gate. There's not actually a gate, there's just a warning sign that says do not pass. And you don't want to pass it. It wouldn't be a good idea, because the place is under heavy surveillance. Area 51 is actually built on a dry lake bed known as Groom Lake. It was chosen because it's an excellent landing site for airplanes, and that's a lot of what they do over there. They work on experimental top secret airplanes, and they need giant runways, and evidently the runway at Groom Lake is the longest runway in the world. This was described as being a little confusing. It's like a 5-way intersection, so I think I'm going to follow this 51 sign. Well, I'm not even exactly sure which way it points. It looks like it's pointing along this road to the right, but not to the hard right. I think that goes to a ranch. Well, we will find out soon enough. And now I'm on what I'm pretty sure is Groom Lake Road. This is wider. It's going in the direction that feels right. And straight ahead, Area 51. So straight up ahead, there's some kind of vehicle in the road. I can't quite make it out. Is that a tractor? Maybe a road grader? It's not spitting up any dust, so Doesn't look like it's moving unless it's coming toward me and the dust is behind and I can't really see. We'll find out in a moment here what this thing is. And this thing does indeed appear to be a road grader. I'm gonna give it plenty of distance here. I don't know if he's planning to make a U-turn, back out onto the road. Yep, he's backing out onto the road. Just gonna take it slow. Well, that's a good sign that he waved at me. Means that I'm probably not on the base by accident somehow. So even though there are no fences out here, looks like totally open land, this is actually the main entrance by land into Area 51. Apparently there's about 1,000 people per day who fly into Area 51 from Las Vegas. So that's how almost everybody gets there, but they do have to have some land entrances as well. So this is the primary one, and evidently there are many security measures, even though there are no fences. Security that prevents people from entering. So they don't need gates nowadays in this age of high technology. They know if you're here. In fact, I think there's a pretty good chance that they're already well aware that I'm coming down this road. They have my eye on me. Probably not so worried because this happens a lot, but they probably take note that I'm here. But who knows, you know, they might have already scanned me and they know exactly who I am, where I live, where I work, and who knows, there might be some agents who are searching my house right now. So I'm wondering about actually just running through the sign and seeing what happens. Actually entering illegally Area 51. I've read up on it, and apparently what happens is these guys called the camo dudes. These are the hired security, and they're called camo dudes because they're these dudes who wear camouflage. They will be on your case immediately. They will stop you. They will hold you at gunpoint, call the local sheriff, and he will either haul you off to jail or issue you a $650 ticket, depending on how serious they think you are about breaking in and what kind of nefarious plans you actually had. Apparently it's something that happens pretty regularly. Area 51 being top secret and not even really acknowledged by the US government. It creates all kinds of conspiracy theories. People think everything from aliens to top secret technology to anything that's unexplained goes on at Area 51. So this attracts lots of people. Apparently, after the Roswell UFO crash back in the 50s, the remains of the spacecraft and possibly some live aliens were transported from Roswell here out to Area 51. And there's some people who believe, including people who actually have worked here at the compound, that there are still live aliens who are here and they're being kept against their will. And the spaceship that crashed has been reverse engineered to exploit the technology that is used by the aliens. And it looks like there is a truck up at the top of that hill. Not sure if it's picking up in the video, but yeah, that's definitely a white truck on the top of that hill. That would be the hill that is the boundary line. So everything behind that is Area 51. And like I said, no doubt they are looking at me. They are very well aware that I'm here. If I were to run past the sign, they would dash down that hill and nail me. So I'm not going to even mess around. In fact, I'm going to, before I get to the actual sign, I'm going to make a U-turn and point my motorcycle the other way so that it is clear that I'm not intending to run past the boundary. And here it is. The sign says no photography. However, there are hundreds of photos of this and video clips of this on the internet. So apparently they're not too interested in doing that, in catching people for this. What I'm going to do right now is come up to this boundary and make a U-turn. I see he just moved right there. He's taking a look at me. If he keeps coming down toward me, I'm going to just head out of here, but right now I'd like to actually get off the bike and walk up. So I was going to take some photos here, but that's okay. They can almost certainly see that I've got a camera on top of my helmet, and apparently they do not engage you. They do not actually come up and talk to people. If they get their photo taken and it gets on the internet, they can be fired. So apparently this guy is not going to come right in front of me right now. You can see that sign, warning, photography of this area is prohibited. U.S. Air Force installation. The sign used to say use of lethal force is permitted if you are trespassing. Up on the hill there are some sensors. You can see that the camo dudes haven't moved since I pulled up here. You can see these orange boundaries. If I were to walk beyond that, that would be it. This is Area 51, just beyond those boundaries. That truck is on Area 51. His job is to stare down at here and look at people like me. Probably the great majority of the people who come down this road, they do exactly like me. They just stop before the gate and they turn around and make it on their way. And every once in a while some loser, well not loser, but some brave soul will just tear down that road right ahead of me. And then that's probably one of the most exciting parts of the job for the guy up there in the white truck. Gets to go down and apprehend him. So that's it. Area 51. I'm gonna be on my way. Goodbye, camo dudes.